Okay, we're gonna try to make this as objective as possible. I know I released like 2 meme videos about this perk, like, just beforehand. But we're gonna talk about Ash. I hate Ash. Can I just say that? I hate him. And it's the perk you're thinking of. I don't hate the other perks. Buckle Up and Flip Flop, I don't hate them. I think they're fine, and I think they have a lot of potential to be in lots of builds, and I think that they're fine. They're not, but this Mettle of a Man perk, I got some issues with it. And I know I'm gonna get flooded with get goods, but I don't care. I know I'm okay. I'm mid-level, but I'm somebody that tries to enjoy all the killers in this game. So this perk, I think, is gonna cause problems. And like, what are my issues with this perk? Okay, let's start with my biggest issue with this perk, is that this perk comes out before any buffs to any underpowered killers. Like we just fixed Decisive Strike after like 2 years, and we sit here. We finally were at a point of the game where it was really good. Like I think the new ranking system I thought could use a little work, but like we were sitting pretty at a point where, in terms of balance, I thought we were doing okay. I think we're still doing okay. I think this is still a very positive state of the game. So I'm not gonna say Mettle of a Man is gonna ruin the game or anything like that. But I think this perk needs to be toned down a little bit. Well, let's go over it. So, the third time you get hit, the perk activates, and the next time you'll get put into the dying state is ignored. So, like, this perk is not as oppressive as Decisive Strike because it has an activation condition. So, it has an activation condition and a drawback. So, like, it's not... This perk isn't stupid, okay? It has drawbacks to it, and it has an activation condition. But, like, I don't understand why we even did it. Because we are, once again, like it or not, no matter what drawback we're adding, no matter what activation condition we're adding, we are once again stumbling into territory where we have a perk that is ignoring a killer's momentum. Anything that would, by definition, this perk is ignoring any attack that would put the guy into a dying state, which basically means they're gonna get hooked. I mean, obviously, flashlight saves, like, that's a part of it too, but usually, if somebody gets downed, they're gonna go get hooked. So we are once again messing with that process after just fixing a 2-year-long problem that almost killed the game in Decisive Strike. So like, instead of leaving that whole interaction and that whole area alone, we immediately, after just fixing Decisive, we once again decide, ooh, we're going to enter this territory again, where we're going to make perks that result in hooks that should have happened not happening. That is a territory where we should not even be touching, apart from borrowed time, and I guess the new D-Strike is fine, apart from anti-tunneling stuff. That's a territory that, except for anti-tunneling. Anti-tunneling is fine. Tunneling is a thing that deserves to be punished. It's a big risk to go for. It's a high risk, high reward kind of thing. But like, if you go for that, you should accept the fact that you can get punished hard. So, but that's my problem with Mettle of a Man. This isn't an anti-tunneling perk. This is just something that can just happen after 3 hits. This perk in combination with self-care, stupid. Because, okay, you got fucking, I don't know, okay, we're a Huntress who just downed somebody that has Mettle of a Man, barbecue and chili, they went off and they're chasing somebody else. Some sneak comes up and gets the hook while the Huntress is in the middle of the chase. We're sitting here not wanting to encourage tunneling, so we're like, yeah, we're not doing that. And then you you get off the hook and you have self-care, and then BAM! You're looking at 3 hits before you get put into the dying state. And like by definition, this perk is gonna show up mid-game. So like this perk's showing up mid-game, so probably two, maybe 3 gens are done by the time Mettle of a Man is gonna kick in on somebody. Which means we are now, like these chases, especially at higher ranks, chases can take a little longer. So we are extending chase time and giving survivors an extra hit in the mid-game. Granted, the mid-game is not as important as the early game, but like this, and granted, another thing that this can lead to a lot of comeback potential, because another problem with this game is that it can be so decided in the early on. So like this perk, so like there are good things about this perk. There are things I do like about it. But my main issue with it is just that we're entering the realm where we shouldn't be interfering with after the 2-year-long problem that D-Strike was. But let's talk about the activation condition. Means it won't be showing up right away. The killer has time to build momentum. That's good. That's fine. And it has a drawback. After it activates, your aura is revealed to the killer when you're further. The next time you heal back to full health. So like you can get hooked again. And then you know, the drawback only happens like after the perk goes off, whether you get hooked at the end of the chase or not. And then your aura is revealed to the killer when you're far away from him, essentially. And that drawback goes away after after you get put into the dying state again. Okay, so like that's a good drawback, but like okay, here's my problem again. This perk's showing up in the mid game, and like you can see this perk 4 times. In order to kill somebody, you have to see this perk at least once. And there's like, yes, it increases your chances of being the obsession, but there is no like alternative effect for non-obsessive users. Not that I'm seeing here on the description. They get the same effect anyway. So who cares? Like, granted, the obsession can have bad things happen to them, like the spirit, and like if they could get tunneled if somebody has dying light on. But like, usually being the obsession means you got one powerful ass perk on you. That's what I always saw it as. And like, so let me get this. You could have D-Strike, Borrow Time, Self-Care, and Mettle of a Man on somebody. Like, wow. Woo! That's a fun build right there. That's a very fun build. Like, and like another weakness of the perk is that it only applies to basic attacks. So like, okay, this doesn't affect Billy too much. I don't think it affects Nurse too much either, because I think her blink attacks aren't counted as basic attacks. I think. I'm still new at Nurse, leave me alone. But like, so like, it doesn't affect the top tier killers. So like, oh, it's fine. It like, let me get this. It's still good against them. Don't get me wrong. It's still good against Nurse and Billy. It's still good against Myers. It's probably not as good against Huntress because of how much she relies on her shit. It's still good against Spirit. It's still good against the top tiers. But like, here's the thing. It's balanced at high level gameplay. What the fuck does Freddy Krueger do about this? What the fuck does the Wraith do about this? What the fuck does the Pig do about this? Lunge at him? Yeah, right. Yeah, that's real cute. Lunge at him. That'll stop him. I hate the Pig, man. So like what? Like, what do they do? What does Doc do about this? They take it. They take it in the dick. They take it in the dick hard. Poor Doctor. He sucks in the chase as it is. He doesn't. Pig sucks in, like, people that get sucked in the chase, that sucked in the chase before are now even worse in the chase. So like, this perk's existence has nerfed all of the killers that already needed buffs. So and before they got those buffs, we've added another perk to the game that is like a reworked decisive strike, essentially. It's another version of reworked D-strike, essentially. It's just essentially that's what it is because of the interaction that it messes with. The process of, oh, you're down, should be hooked, but you're just not. Nope. Granted, this one was executed a lot better than the original decisive strike because this perk actually has drawbacks and activation conditions. But okay, so my point. This is why I don't like. I think the drawback is like, who cares about the drawback? Because yeah, the killer can see your aura, but if the killer's in the middle of a chase, they don't care about your damn aura. They don't care. If you're doing a generator, but the killer's trying to kill somebody else, that oh, you just got away with murder there. Like, granted, if they lose that chase or when they hook, they're coming straight for you, so you'll pay for it eventually. But still, that doesn't affect you right away. There's no exhaustion, and the obsessions, you can potentially see this perk 4 times a fucking match. So you can potentially in the mid game have to down survivors. You could potentially give all the survivors a buff where they get the sponge a hit. Yeah, that's BS. If I were changing this perk, the whole aura reading thing is fine. I would add a stipulation to it where the obsession is the only one who gets the original effect. People that are non-obsessions, they have to get hit 6 or 7 times before it goes off. That's what I do to it. That way you only realistically be seeing it once a match. Because if you're getting hit 6 times by it, you could potentially already be dead. So that's what I think should be done to it. But I'm there's another thing it counters. Sloppy Butcher. Anybody remember that? The fact that they're supposed to make healing take forever. But if you're sitting there with Mettle of a Man on, and someone's trying to Sloppy Butcher, it could slow down the effectiveness of that perk in the mid game because you don't even need self-care because you're just oh, okay, I know I have the killer's running Sloppy Butcher, or even just healing in general. It doesn't even have to apply to Sloppy Butcher. They're just gonna go, oh, well, guess what? I don't need to heal right now. I don't need to take the time to do that because I have Mettle of a Man. I'm at full health anyway. I'm at full health despite not being at full health. So it could just take a huge chunk of healing. If you run into 2 survivors or lose one and you swat at them, and number 1, you just help the perk start, so that's one thing. And then they can just go, oh, okay, now I'm healed. And then once you're healed after getting hit once with Mettle of Man, it turns it into borrowed time once the guy's off the damn hook. Can you imagine that? You hit somebody once, with Mettle of a Man on, they heal themselves, you get up, you borrow, they have borrow time, but they're still the one that's in the prime position for the chase. That can happen. It's like a non-intentional tunnel. That can happen. And so they have borrowed time, and then you whack them again, and they go, oops, now I got Mettle of a Man. So you can, 3, it can turn it bullshit, man. The amount of stupidity the perk could bring to the table is absolutely absurd. And at these low-level killers, it destroys. The Plague, it wrecks, unless she has Corrupt Purge. The Plague's not very good anyway. I guess Legion wouldn't get fucked by it, but guess what? Who likes Legion? Nobody! I mean, I don't hate Legion. I don't have them. But there's nothing a killer can do about this. At least Decisive Strike, you could do dribbling. At least. What's the counterplay to this perk? How do you stop it from going off? You can't. Freddy Krueger has to accept the fact that this perk could happen to him 4 times a game and there's nothing he can do about it. It Shreks low-level killers really bad. And instead of buffing these killers, we're getting a perk that shits on them? What? I don't like the perk. I don't care for it. Because I acknowledge the fact that it's not completely busted. Because it doesn't have to go off. If you're playing against Hillbilly and Hillbilly chainsaws you, you might not see it. Especially if Hillbilly doesn't give 2 fucks about this perk. But like, Hillbilly's one of the best killers in the game. Like, Wraith, like, there's no counterplay. Wraith can't do anything about this perk but accept the fact that it's there. And accept the fact that his already poor chase potential is now even worse, and there's nothing he can do about it. There's just no counterplay on some killers. Most of the killers that it fucks already need help. That's the bad thing. Like, so instead of working on buffing these killers, we added Ash to the game and decided that he was gonna get this basically Decisive Strike 2.0. No, like, that's not okay with me. That doesn't sit well with me. Some of these killers absolutely suck and need buffs bad. Because they cannot compete at the higher levels. And then you got people going, I hate playing the game because it's only Nurse and Billy at high level. Well, perks like this are the reason why it's only Nurse and Billy at high level. Because they're the only killers that can do something about this. Okay, does Myers is Evil Within 3 count as a basic attack? I don't know, probably. We have a perk that counters Evil Within 3. Well, hold on. Let me see it. Let me reread it. Make sure. Injured to help. Is it any attack that will put you into the dying state? Yeah. But from the injured state, so it doesn't counter Evil Within 3 if you're at full health. It does if you're already. It helps. It helps fight Flagrant Tuft of Hair Myers a lot. It makes him have to, like, you know. Which, like, I'm okay with that, because Flagrant Tuft of Hair Myers is so good that he doesn't particularly give a shit about that. He's gonna have enough time to deal with it anyway. So, like, I acknowledge the fact that this perk is balanced for some of the better killers and the better setups in this game. So it's not broken, and it doesn't ruin the game, but, like, it adds to the problem that there's only a certain amount of viability in the character selection. It fucks Wraith, it fucks Freddy, it fucks Doctor, it fucks Pig, it fucks Plague. Like, the only killers that can deal with this are the people that go, lol, Legion has no counterplay. Well, now people are going to be playing Legion a whole hell of a lot more if they keep seeing this perk 4 times a game. Because, I can tunnel you by using my basic attack, and I don't get looped. Cool. And there's barely any counterplay to Legion as it is, so, like, people don't like him. But like, I'm confused. I'm upset with the decision to make another perk like this. So, like, I don't hate it for being broken. I don't hate it for being OP, because it's not. Because at high level, this is just simply a good perk. But like, when you're facing a killer who's not top 5, this is broken. It destroys them. It does. It really does, man. And that's what I don't like about it. Like, the decision to make a perk like this was risky from the beginning. We're giving survivors the ability to sponge a hit. Like, yeah, it does have drawbacks, but, like, I don't know if those, like, I haven't played against Ash enough yet to know if those drawbacks are anything serious. Like, it could backfire, because, like, again, you have to get hit 3 times, so, like, assuming the killer's good and, like, has perfected it, you have to, like, I don't want to say tunneled, but, like, he got to you before you healed. So, like, you could, like, he doesn't see your aura if... Okay, I wouldn't combo with no better. I'm trying to think of some builds that would be stupid on it. Oh, next time you... I don't know. I just think we need to tweak it slightly. I don't know. I'm suggesting a nerf for it. Like, as I sit here and think more about it, I'm calmed down a little bit. You could argue it doesn't need a nerf because at high level it's simply good. But at the same time, you could also, it does need a nerf because it also shreks half the roster. So I don't know. The answer is I don't know. And that's why I'm so mad about it. Because I'm mad that the perk exists. I'm mad that we again have entered this territory. We have to worry about another perk that interferes with the sacred state of the game that shouldn't be interfered with, which is the downing and hooking of a survivor. That is something that should never be touched. And I thought we learned from D-Strike. I thought we learned that is the riskiest part of the game to make perks for. And like another thing, we don't have any killer to balance. Like okay, I don't know, again, he's not broken, but we don't have any killer that goes with Ash to like when Myers and Lori came out with the obsession mechanic and all that shit, like Lori's perks were like obsession based as much as Myers's were. So like we're introducing new mechanics. Like what if there was a killer perk that was like, oh, by the way, the third time you hit somebody, one of their perks just stops being active. How sick would that be? There you go. The third time you hit somebody with the basic attack, one of their perks shuts off for 60 seconds. There's a nice killer perk right there for you. Survivors would bitch, but like there's nothing that goes along with this. So like, I don't know, man. I just got some problems. There's my analysis. Hope you had a great time.